Oh my goodness, they're all in here.
You want some coffee?
I do.
Let's go get some. I'm gonna take a break.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Suburban Homestead Gen X. And today, you know, I've one of the problems I've had is, you know, when I have the bush hog on the back of the tractor, often I want to have my chainsaw with me, maybe even the brush cutter to get down and get some things I can't really get when I have the bush hog on the back. The same as when I have the trailer. I'll put the chainsaw on, I'll put my tools on the trailer, but they're rolling around. So I wanted to find something that was affordable and would do the job, you know, carrying some tools around. So I went on the Amazon shop and I was looking around at different things, and there's some really nice ones on there for $200-300. But the one that I found was, I can't remember, but here the price is right up here. So the Amazon truck came today. We are making headway though with Amazon as far as getting our address right. They actually sent someone out this morning to, you know, assign the pin, because in addition we also ordered a new battery for the chainsaw, and we're going to open that up and charge it. It's not a Greenworks brand. I hate that. I feel bad that I didn't go with the Greenworks brand, but I mean, it was 2.5 times more to buy a Greenworks brand name than to buy this. I hope they work. It's a 6 amp hour battery. Should have more time. But our focus right now is on this tool caddy. So we opened the big box, and one thing I do like, this is kind of heavy. I would recommend having someone else help you with this if you have that option. I always like to experiment with doing it myself as best I can. That way, we just kind of know if it's able, you know, if you can do it. I think that will end up working, and just fine. All right, so we have this set in place. We're going to start with the outside part. Should not be all that difficult. But I give a shout out to the Ghosoone people, or Ghosoone people. Looks like this is going to definitely be an answer for us. In the next day or two, we'll get the entirety of the wood cutting area done and have that in this video coming up. And our goal, our big goal, the number one project this entire season is the fence posts. But we're going to have a lot, you know, I know we have a lot going on. We were working on Jen's deck last week, and we'll have an update on that in this episode as well. So I guess on to the next task. Well, I pulled my back the other day trying to get this porch of hers done. My original plan, I was just going to use some tree posts to do it, just because it'd be a little more sturdy and a lot quicker. That didn't go down. So this is an old sweet gum that kind of broke off a while back in a storm. We're going to cut this up, probably try and take a few more of these trees down and head on up to the burn pile. But now I'm trying some new gloves. Something a little lighter, but this is it's like a neoprene type glove. It's a Milwaukee brand. I don't expect them to last very long, but we'll see. They're like 14 or 15, I think it's $14 a pair. But the last pair of like the deer hide gloves I looked at were almost $40, and I can wear a pair of deer hide gloves out in 2 months. So, you know, I remember years ago you could buy a pair of those old cheap just leather gloves and they would last you almost a year. Everything's made to be disposable, isn't it? But I guess we just make us a pile right here. Get some of this done. There you go. I tell you, it was nice to get all that bush hog done. And that area is just really opening up kind of nice now. Actually, I'll make my pile up here so I can bring my tractor in a little easier. I'm getting to where I really do like this electric chainsaw a lot. Especially for stuff like this. This Greenworks, it's so convenient. I'm not wearing my arm out, and even if it's cold outside, this thing still just fires right up. I'm just determined we're not going to lose ground this year. You know, things are happening, life's happening. My back's still a little jacked up, but as I cut this, it's going to pinch. So what I like to do is I'll just keep kind of cutting up, and eventually this is going to open back up as the rest of this settles. And I can put my saw in there and just snip it. It won't do what I said the first time. And I'll just try and cut a chunkier piece off. Sweet gum just is not good for firewood. Doesn't even, if you look at even how the rings are inside of it, it just does not split well. If we ever get to a point where we can afford one of those, you know, hydraulic splitters, I might try some if I still have any left. But I'm not holding on to these trees in the hopes. Because it burns okay. Maybe I can handle this. Yeah, it's not that heavy. I figure it's going to take a couple weeks for my back to mend up, so we just got a deal. All right, I should be able to see a lot more with the camera. I guess on to the next project. I see your Weasley dog and your wheezing cat. Stink Bottom, I'm not coming inside. I think, did we ever tell you that's her Harry Potter name? Gracious Stink Bottom? Well, I'm definitely enjoying the new Ghosoone tool caddy here. I made a quick modification on it. I'll show you a little later, but I just took their straps and I found some Velcro that I had, and I'm talking industrial Velcro. It holds, you know, 50 pounds or more. And I use that to secure this so it's a lot easier to get your tools on and off. So this is going to be the wood cutting area. And we might even make a little fire today, I don't know. But we're just going to get this area here cleared out. We'll leave our persimmon tree. We love persimmon trees here. And we're going to get all these pine trees and I guess the sweet gums out of here. Cut these down so that we can go ahead and make our area for stacking wood right over here. I'm going to clear a little bit more of that for the stacking. We'll get all this done up, and so I guess no time better than the present. I've been dragging this around with me for a day now. We have some really nice eastern dogwoods. And I'm going to try and leave a few of them, I guess. They just add a little bit to the underbrush, so We're going to leave as many of those as we can now. Maybe down the road we'll have to cut them down. But the goal is to clear it out like this, and you can see it's full sun everywhere. But with the larger trees, I think the canopies are going to continue to spread, and we'll just keep a shady area all day long. All right, so we put a new chain on this. And before we get started, we want to check things out. Has a gauge on here for oil. We're still pretty full. We need to tighten this up just a bit. Don't want it to be too tight. And this always loosens, but again, it's a small price to pay because even on a gas chainsaw, you're going to be checking that regularly. I told you we have a new battery. This is a 2 amp hour battery, I think. Let me make sure. No, this is a 4 amp hour battery. We bought a 6 amp hour battery, and that should give us a little bit more time. This is about half charge, so we're just going to keep cutting till the beep goes. I believe in safety, even though I'm looking at this tree, and we'll just kind of look at this tree right here and do a quick thing on cutting down trees. So I'm looking at this tree, and up there's a big knot on this side. The tree twists this way, but also I have a lot of branches that are swayed over this way, but I want the tree to fall straight over there. And it can be in a little bit of a range right there, but I'm willing to bet you we're going to lay it about right there. However, because I just really don't know which way the weight might want to shift, the Kubota's right there. So we're going to move the Kubota and get it well out of the way of where it could be damaged. We'll reposition ourselves too. The last place it's going to fall is uphill. All right. So our battery is dead just that quick. This tree's not fully cut, but it's not enough to shake it yet. I really didn't make a bad cut in it. One thing I will tell you, this is probably the largest tree that I would try to cut with this unsupported. We do have some bigger pine trees that we're going to have to make this work on, just because we really can't get another saw at the moment. And the steel chainsaw is still down. But what we're going to do for those other trees, and you'll see later, is we're going to rig them up with pulley and, or not pulley, but we're going to rig them up with some come-alongs, have tension pulled against them on the way we want them to fall. That way, even if it does start to give before the saw has the ability to cut through it, it's going to pull to the direction that the come-alongs are taking it. But I guess we're going to have to let this cool down and hold out and wait. the other battery's charged, we'll be right back. We're supposed to have some more of the high heat indexes today. It got up, it was 103 yesterday, which is hot, but it's not that bad. Maybe I can sweat some of this weight off. Well, that's part of our problem today. We may end up trying to get another battery, but I'm hoping with the 2 batteries we'll be able to get a lot more done. And the reason that this died so far, this isn't definitely not the saw's fault. But as you can see here, I mean, this tree's probably got a 12-inch diameter. Well, maybe not quite 12, about 10-inch diameter anyways. And the saw, it gets awful hot, and when you add heat, a battery just wears out. So we'll just give that about an hour, and we'll be back to that. I guess for a little bit, we'll just try and get some of this other brush up and drug down. We're moving along, doing what we can as we can. And I'm out here as often as I can. Usually I'm limited to mostly weekends and late evenings, but as we're getting closer to fall, I'm going to lose my sunlight in the evening. So we'll be limited to primarily just weekends. As what happens all too often, I did not get back outside. It was just very hot yesterday, so we're at it again today, and we'll see if we can't get this tree right here down. See, we made a cut at the bottom, and we were supposed to have some storms yesterday, and we didn't have any storms, so I have no idea what's going on. But guys, I'm gonna take a second here and show you this battery that I got from the Amazon shop. I just charged it. It came, I think it had a little bit of a charge in it, but I like to make sure they're fully charged when I use them the first time. Press that, all 4 lights are on, so we're in good shape here. We're going to put this in our Greenworks 40-volt saw, and this is the 6 amp hour battery, so we should have a little bit longer run time. And we'll see if we can't see how much battery it uses to take this little tree down. All right, we got our cut. Picking up from where we were yesterday, we have this cut now, so let's see if we can't get this to come the rest of the way down. There we go. We're still on 4 bars of power, so good job. All right, well, one thing I guess we need to do this evening, because it is getting kind of late in the evening, we're gonna get this cleared up. So maybe we can get the brush cutter, cut some of that out. See how long it takes to wear this battery down. Now again, I gotta tell you, in all fairness to Greenworks though, the other battery, and it was a 4-volt battery, I mean, what is that, a 4 milliamp battery. It was 5 years old, so I expect it to start not holding the charge as long or being as, strong when it charges. But this new battery here is doing an amazing job. I might try and get another one. I didn't do quite as much today, so my back's not hurting as bad. Gotta cut some more of these grapevines out. Okay, we'll try and knock a little bit of this out. We're trying to make sure we get up in here enough so that we can get the rest of this tree out. I just can't get into it with all these vines. All right, let's set that down. Try and get some of this to the brush pile. But it's not quite so warm today. Heat index right now is only 95. This is where the ground was all swampy before. Back here, it's still mushy. I'd love nothing more than to find a little spring up here somewhere. Singing bye-bye to city water. See, what we're gonna do is once I get this cleared up just a little bit more, over towards where you're at, we're gonna cut one of these sweet gums down over here, the smaller ones. We're gonna drag it up. It's gonna be about 20 feet this way, and that's what we're gonna use to stack logs on. But it'll come to where we cut this one down up. You know, because I'd like to get some of these pine trees that we cut down, the bigger ones are gonna dry. We're gonna coat them with our own creosote formula, and we're gonna line the 600-foot driveway. Try and stop the erosion by making the road higher than the ground around it. You know, depending on how many pine trees we have, the whole way, I'm probably gonna do the drive so that it comes up and goes all the way around the property. And I'm just gonna keep using trees as far as I can. You know, we'll just recoat them every year with, you know, some copper sulfate or something, you know, that'll help deter rot. I see the commissioner down there monitoring my progress. Actually, really and truly, she's monitoring to make sure I'm not having some kind of heat stroke up here. I told you guys, I noticed I was picking up on some weight when I put my shirt on last week, and I gotta drop this. When you get older, having extra weight on you is not easy. Well, this is a work night, so I think this is probably about all I'm gonna get done. I gotta go in and get showered up. We'll probably take a few more of these loads down there, but I don't think we're gonna do any more cutting. So I think that we're going to go ahead. We're going to put that other camera up today. Get that done here shortly. But yeah, looking pretty good. Well, I figured the last one went in. We're going to put this one in together actually though. So, you know, I was always skeptical. Anytime you buy these cameras and you find out you have to have a subscription, I've probably thrown away $1,000 in cameras because you get it and then you have to have a subscription to use it. And unless someone wants to work with me to, you know, make a free program that gives, you know, what everybody needs to them, ain't no sense in having it. I paid for the camera. I shouldn't have to pay to use it. So hopefully that's going to be okay. But this right here, I put this wire in a while ago. It's a little bit long. Just going to shave it down some. And now, if you're not comfortable doing electrical work, I suggest not doing it. My family is a family of electricians. I used to work in the electrical field for a short while, so I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing. All right, and you don't have to strip a whole lot. I mean, you just need to strip enough that you can get the wire nut around. And always make sure that your breaker is off. This happens to be on a switch on the inside, and that switch is turned off. If you remember from the other one, see this right here? My box went to the outside of the sheathing, and then we put this over top. So I have about a half inch or so, or quarter inch, I guess, that I need to make up. The best way I found to do that is with something like a washer. When I'm using a washer, I like to use the bar strap so that it's actually still the very top piece, because that's what we need. And we got lucky. I had exactly 8 washers. So I obviously had another project I bought 16 washers for and didn't need them. So that little hook's made to hang it so that you don't have to put the weight of the fixture on the wires. But black to black, white to white. And they do give you a green ground. We're going to get that started. This is a wall mount. So you have to turn and select that with the sensor. Okay. So that's our light mounted. What I didn't show you on the other side, the last piece, they give you this little plug. Remove that for first use. And we'll go put power on this. All right, another evening. It's kind of a pretty evening. It's not as hot as it has been. So we're going to try and get some more of this out of here. We're getting close. Right here, we're going to drag more of this down. Get this on the burn pile. That might be, you know, a few seconds of what tonight's video is, but we got to get all that done. Get a few more of these trees cut out of here. Not many. I'm going to try, like I said, we're going to try and leave as many persimmon as we can. Make great jelly, jam, and if we ever get a year that we might have a frost early, pretty good to eat. Yeah, we're supposed to have a good bit of rain coming in. You know, they keep showing these hurricanes building up, and you got one group on TikTok saying, oh, it's coming to get you. And then, you know, you got the credible weathermen, you know, like James Spann for our area. He comes on and says, oh, these TikTok people are just full of baloney. I really don't know what to believe. But as of today, when I'm looking at that, that thing seems like it is right off the coast. It's supposed to veer and go north, but I guess by the time you guys see this video, we'll know exactly which way it went. But if we can get some rain, or at least a forecast of rain, I'll go ahead and burn that pile. I'm a little leery about burning right now. I mean, it's still wet. Don't get me wrong. It's still pretty wet here. But the surface from the heat is just kind of dry. We could have a really good surface brush fire. I don't want that on me. We'll be letting some more sunlight in here for probably 3 or 4 years. These canopies will grow right back together again, especially once the big trees are getting all the nutrients and not sharing with the smaller trees. If I run out of gas, I'll be done. I need to quit, I can't. About as good as I can get it with this right here. Like I said, I got to get that blade sharpened. So I'll go up ahead and see if I can't come back down this way and bring it. We're just going to get the chainsaw, the bush hog on, and we're going to come back up here. Cut these trees, just keep hitting this with the bush hog. We'll do that. Hopefully if it doesn't rain tomorrow, we're going to do it tomorrow. There's such a major threat of rain. I'm going to take these items down, and I guess until I get too tired, I'll drag some more stuff to the fire pile. Yeah, that bush hog's going to get that a lot better than I am. And I need that to be good and clear. So we'll do that tomorrow. We gotta take some of these trees here down. When the cooler weather starts hitting, I might start putting my work light on and staying out late after dark, and some things we can do with the spotlight. Every night I'm trying to just do 5 more minutes if I can. This back situation is not the coolest, but it just is.